Wind beneath my wings, Vince Carter changed the game. We all know this with his epic performance in the 2000 slam dunk contest. And guess what? He might just take us down memory lane this season. He hinted at the possibility of competing in the dunk contest this season. Here's what he said, quote, "It's possible. I don't know if I could win, but I think I could make it interesting." LZ, 2017. Vinsanity, are we doing this?
That's insane.
You don't like love.
He can still dunk. Look at that.
That's recent.
That's a 7, max. That is a 7 dunk. And oh, by the way, we already have arguably 2 of the greatest dunkers of the past 10 to 15 years competing against each other in Gordon already.
Boo.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, seriously.
but that's being short-sighted and narrow-minded. Right now,
So
what
much.
they need, what they need to add to those 2 young talents is not anymore Andre Drummond and Will Barton. We need a
Yeah, I don't want to
nostalgic
Google you.
pick. Yeah, exactly. Nostalgia. Let's bring in a Vince Carter. Let's bring in an old-timer with no expectations of winning, but can still remind us of the great things of yesteryear.
Master P,
And do that.
we are
I
sick
like
and
that.
tired of being hated on because we are all growing older. Would you like to see Vince Carter in this?
Well,
league?
I played with Vince Carter at that time, so I seen what he done back then. But I don't know if he could do that right
Oh,
now.
you know he can't do that.
No, I'm just saying, like, I
it can
think
be
that
fun.
no, it can be fun, but he did some incredible things. But I think that right now, for the time, you know, people looking for excitement.
I know, but I feel like, no offense to the kids, it's great.
Yeah, it's good. You know what? Let Vince Carter do his
Yes,
thing,
thank
man.
you.
Let him do his thing, man. Let him do his thing.
I'm gonna say don't do your thing, just don't do your thing on that weekend.
Oh, that's messed up.
What?
That's ageism right
You
there.
really are
Yeah,
ageist.
You know,
really
a lot
are.
of people.
I love
Let the
Vince
man
Carter.
live.
I
For
love
shame.
Vince Carter.
You want to see Will Barton or Vince Carter?
Yeah, really.
I want to see highlights. I don't want to be in my head going, oh, but he's 37. I don't want to keep saying that every time he does like a boring
But you
dunk.
might not. You might be pleasantly surprised,
Thank you.
and it's Vince Carter if it happens.
Listen, you know what
That's-
makes me pleasantly surprised? If he makes it through the whole season.
Okay,
That would
you
be
know what?
pleasantly surprised.
When do you leave for your next trip?
LZ.
Right.
Moving on to Klay Thompson's
Is that a hot take?
latest
I thought it was
slapback.
pretty obvious.
You know what, though?
Y'all,
People can come back.
how about we make fun of Jason Terry instead? Back in September, he
love
referred to
Jason
Thompson, Klay Thompson, as a B-side player, implying that he was not a superstar. He elaborated that a B-side player serves a supporting cast role, but is not really a bench player. Well, Thompson responded, saying, "I'll be a B-side player on my way to a championship." I don't know what that's for. Here is what he looks like as a B-side player, I think. Maybe, but probably not. LZ, is Klay Thompson a B-side player? There he is.
That's messed up.
You know what? If he's a B-side player, then like Odell's like an all right kind of singer who
See,
carry a tune.
You've been wrong all day today.
What are you talking about? If he's a
Exactly.
B-side player, that means Beyonce's butt's all right. It's okay.
Whoa.
He
Right.
is not a
Well.
B-side player. He's the second
very.
best shooting guard in the NBA. So you can't be the second or first best shooting guard in the NBA and
So
be a
do
B-side
you remember
player.
what he said when he first came in the draft? When they gave him number 11. You know what? He changed the game. I think he's a superstar.
You do?
I do. I think he's better than Steph Curry.
Whoa.
I think he's better than Durant.
He's the best on that team.
I think he's the best on that team.
Interesting.
Because he defends?
No, because he come out every night to play.
I buy that. And he seems to have a little chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, he do.
quietly.
I mean, he's like he's a quiet assassin to me.
But, okay, when we first heard this, did we all kind of get where Jason Terry was coming
I
from?
did.
I did as well. It's like, would you take Klay Thompson on an island and start a franchise around him?
Right.
Most people would say no, even though he's a tremendous player. So once you take the sting away from it, you kind of understand where he's coming from.
Here's how I test it. If you say you're going to another country and you're like, oh, we love basketball. Do you love basketball? And they ask you questions about it. So you're like, well, I need to give you 5 stars of the game.
Right.
You're not saying Klay
You're not saying Klay Thompson.
Or-
Not
You
in that
should
short
be.
list.
Superstar.
You should
But
be.
also consider
Yeah.
who else was on Jason Terry's B-side list.
That's
He
fair.
also included Kawhi Leonard, who was second, who was like second MVP.
Excuse me.
2-time Defensive Player of the Year. So that's his
Jason
B-side.
Terry is...
So consider that.
Jason Terry is tripping.
Consider
tripping,
DJ
man.
when talking about the B-side.
Look,
Now
to
I'm
be
not
honest
gonna
with you,
That's a good point.
there's no B-side with this man because he
That's
could go
fair.
on any team and be a superstar.
He's a
Superstar. He's a superstar
Speaking
now,
of, by the
but
way,
he will be on any other
the
team.
Warriors talk. We haven't even started the season yet, but apparently it doesn't need to be done. It's already been decided. Preseason survey conducted by NBA.com. These are the GMs voting, by the way. 100% say it will either be Warriors and Cavs.
They're not even
winning the
voting for
whole
their
thing.
team. They're like, hell no, we ain't got a chance.
That's the bottom voting for their own team.
There are 28 GMs not voting
Wait
for their
up,
own team.
hold on. Nobody else got a vote?
Nobody else.
And you know what, being real, no one else deserves a damn vote. Even
What?
as the come on. If we said put your bottom dollar on another team outside of those two, I wouldn't bet. And I'm a Clippers fan.
I
would be shocked.
Who was your team?
Spurs.
Oh, stop. You're not going to bet.
But they're not going to do that.
I do have a team.
There
I
is
think
one
I
team.
think the Raptors with DeRozan. I think they got a
You
great
got an album
chance.
coming out with Drake?
Not
Ain't no way in damn Toronto.
No,
You stop.
what about look?
There is
and,
one
and what
team.
about,
He's got a
I
team,
got
too.
another team, OKC.
Oh, man, what's
Man,
up?
I'm telling you,
It's a hot take.
There is only
man,
one
Westbrook
team.
is a beast.
I do
I'm just
agree with
telling
that.
y'all.
It's a
He's
team,
not
though.
his
There's
side.
only one team that's going to shake that all up, and that is the Boston Celtics. They're
Oh,
the only
man.
team.
What
you
the
are
draft
dumb.
picks?
If you look at what the GMs also said about the Boston Celtics, they picked them to have the most big of a shakeup. They picked them to
I got
he was
something for the
second
Boston
best
Celtics.
acquisition.
I got
Oh,
some of my
what is
hot
it?
sauce.
Make that
I'm
money.
gonna put some of my hot sauce on the Boston Celtics. They ain't gonna
Make that
have
money,
They need some Louisiana hot sauce
Yo.
for the Boston Celtics
That
to
makes
win.
me
I'm just
happy.
telling you
Also,
straight.
hear me out,
That's the
hear
only
me
way
out.
it can
500
happen.
million in
That's
the
the only way. That's the only
Where did you just pull the hot sauce out of? Is what I don't
Mark
understand.
this down, people. Mark this down.
What?
They're going to make a mid-season trade.
Oh, stop talking.
Listen,
Stop,
mark
LZ.
it down. Mark it down. They're going to
No.
make a mid-season
I'm gonna mark
trade.
it down,
They've already
but-
talked about getting in Boogie
have-
Cousins.
No.
They have multiple first-round picks
They got
can
a
use.
ton of draft picks.
They have a ton of draft
That's all
picks.
they
They're
got.
going to make a move mid-season and
No.
guarantee
On
they're
a
gonna
lighter
shake things
note,
up.
on a lighter
Do
note,
way
the
too
Boston
serious, by the way.
Celtics on the
not be surprised if the Cleveland Cavaliers fall to a remade Boston Celtics.
You really
Okay,
doing like
I have a
NBA
question.
countdown, huh?
I have
Right
one
there.
question. Not for you guys. What's going on next? What's going on lately? What do you got?
Well, the All-Star Weekend, we're doing a benefit concert, and it's for the victims of the flood relief for Baton Rouge. So I want all the athletes to come out. We're going to have all the top celebrities there, from Usher to Lil Wayne. It's gonna be a
Marcellus?
great
You want
event.
Marcellus?
Yeah, you
Come
need me
on.
to DJ? Come
Man,
on.
come on, man.
I'll bring the hot sauce. Let's go get it. You bust it on the beat. Let me go
Last
get
time he
that.
was on the court, he
Pull
broke
the
his
hot
nose.
sauce.
No, you know what, though? When people look at about floods and a lot of victims, they're not back in their homes yet in Baton
No.
Rouge. And I feel like, for All-Star Week, this is a way for us, even though it's going to be a fun event, it'll be a way for everybody to do their part. So this concert event is going to be great for our people.
you go.
In
New
Baton Rouge,
Orleans.
Louisiana.
Master
New
P,
Orleans.
a man of many talents.
That man.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
We'll be back. Oh, but first, Jimmy Kimmel.
You better bring some food next time.
The Dodgers even the series last night in Chicago. It's tied at 1 game apiece. And our local news channel, KTLA, was in downtown LA this morning to try to capture the excitement of Dodger fans in tonight's edition of Excellence in Reporting.
Now we got games 3, 4, 5 here at home. Your words really quickly?
Go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers. Sending it back to you in the studio.
My bad.
Guess what? Vontaze Burfict is being investigated for dirty plays. In addition to the low blow on Marcellus Bennett, the NFL is also reviewing an alleged stomp on LeGarrette Blount. A decision on potential discipline will be made by tomorrow. Marcellus?
Yes, ma'am.
You've defended this man?
I still will.
That was my second question.
Well, I still-
Really?
Yeah. I mean, look, NFL, if you really want to get something right, call PI on Richard Sherman, and then we'll talk about what it should be called. They didn't call a foul on this one. Now they're using the all-22 camera, the all-22 access to go back retroactively and start this witch hunt. This is what it is. The guy's on probation. We get it. He messed up last year in the playoffs. But now those kind of plays happen all the time in the NFL. I don't want to call them gamesmanship, but they're certainly not meriting what kind of attention he's
Marcellus,
getting.
he just went back in there and stepped on him.
I've been there. I've been there.
Dude, here's the thing. Is it a witch hunt? Yes.
Thank
Is
you.
he a witch? Yes. That's the problem.
Found him.
If there's a witch hunt and you're a witch, yes, you're going to be in trouble.
That's not fair.
If you know their eyeballs going to be on you, yo, bruh, do the nautical suit. Start acting a little bit better.
Oh,
Give the witches some love. All right, here's the thing. Here's the thing. All right, we're supposed to judge every single incident as a separate incident, not collect
Where
them all
in
together.
life do we
but
live
that's
in a silo?
impossible.
Right.
You know that's impossible.
live in a silo.
That's the legislation, and that's the way you're supposed to look after these players, not go back and say, you know what, since you have this history, you had to do something
Did you say
today.
legislation?
Yeah, but you're-
This ain't law.
Your parents
We have
taught, I mean,
rules.
my parents taught me that. It wasn't like, oh, this is your first time offense, so you'll get it off a little bit easy. But if this is the 6th, 7th, 8th time you've done something, All of that goes out the
Yeah,
window.
what have you done that many times?
What did I do? Nothing. It was all lame. Toilet paper to vacant house.
Yeah,
Not that big a deal.
sure, it was
But
all lame.
it's impossible as a human to pretend we don't know what he has done in the past.
I get it, but
punish him
how
that
does
way.
that really come into play in that moment, in that stomping, to make me go back and watch game film of some of our
The
errors?
phrase repeat offender is there because we've been watching you and you've done this before.
Oh, yeah. So which one, Stu?
Next up,
one?
back in my day, this is all me. Mullet enthusiast, proud 40-year-old Mike Gundy shared some interesting thoughts recently on parity in college football. Take a listen to this.
In preparation is different now than it ever has been. And the players that we coach come in, and they're not like guys that we coached 10 years ago and 15 years ago and 20 years ago. Because your generation spends all their time looking at their phones. My generation spent all our time in the front yard playing games.
Also, blow drying our hair, apparently.
Yeah,
That's
right.
a lot of hair. It's the greatest get off my lawn ever. But does he have a point?
I mean, if he turns around and that mullet might be at a point, maybe there. But
Party in the back.
What he's saying has no point. Oh, yeah, has he looked at the rankings lately? Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan. Yeah, that's parity. Same damn schools, always good in the top 25. Now, there are some exceptions out there, obviously Houston, Louisville, Baylor. But that's to my point of these players are not going all to the same schools. The talent is more dispersed, evenly dispersed, than it's ever been before. Please do not talk to me about the technology age. These kids are coming in smarter than ever. These kids are at the age of 8, know what a zone 3 is, whereas when I played drawing up plays in Sandlot, I learned nothing about the zone 3. So guess what? These guys are coming in better prepared. They're going to different schools. That's why it's parity.
In 2007, the NCAA had to stop coaches from texting players. Yeah. Why? Because the players' phone bills were getting blown up. So if you got to talk about somebody using cell phones too much, maybe it's not necessarily the players, the athletes. Maybe it's y'all using technology trying to do all this recruiting.
Right.
Listen, it is what it is. Your team's not very good. You lost to Central Michigan University.
Hello.
You're bitter. Your hair is big. And you're trying to find a reason to kind of deflect.
Great hair.
But it's not as if we don't have great athletes today. We still have great athletes.
Can I ask you this? Because this argument is good for many, many things. Why are kids lazy? Why are they pasty white? Why do they have no attention span? These are the answers to that question. But I thought athletes today were bigger, better, greater, stronger, all of these things.
And smarter.
Right. So for me, as much as I love that argument and have used it in my own life, I feel like it just doesn't fit this problem.
No, I play sandlot football, and we draw a play up. It will be literally with a stick. These kids are now playing Madden, and they're
Lord.
the GM of an organization, drafting and knowing salary caps.
What are you, 82 years old?
I'm just saying, it's a whole different beast.
And really, in 2000, Pew Research shows 48% of adults use, you want to see a little bit
I don't
of that?
know, we got
48% of adults use the internet. Today it's down to 13%. It's only going to be more cell phones, not less, so get used to it.
Can't wait.
It's time for a Bill Belichick
Oh, my gosh.
baby announcement.
It's like Blake and Lively
We have
together.
a roster addition to announce this morning. It's a little different than the usual one, and the emphasis would be on little. We can add newborn Blakely Rose to the depth chart. She was born this morning to my son Steve and the real MVP, Jen. So this is a happy and exciting day for all of us. And with that, we'll move on to the Steelers.
The most
That was a
exciting
Bill
thing.
Belichick baby announcement.
That was perfect. Time for SportsNation, presented by Toyota. Winners and losers. J.R. Smith,
Whoa.
I do love you so. He threw a first birthday party for his dog, Dallas. Marcellus, I have thrown a birthday party for Leroy Jenkins. Have you thrown a birthday party for Quincy?
Oh, man, you called me out as a bad parent.
Yep.
I have not thrown a party for Quincy. Quincy doesn't need those type of things. He's not vain like most dogs are.
Oh, we don't like to
need that.
celebrate birthdays?
No,
now?
you know what? He loves
What do you
his
know what
life.
Quincy needs?
I'm a cat whisperer. He knows what he
Look
needs most
at-
in life, which is love and some enjoyment from his parents. That's
You know what?
He
Yeah.
doesn't need
How about
celebration.
this? How about when your son gets a little older, tell him no birthday parties. He didn't need that. Winner.
Oh, that might not.
Employment. Yeah, they're going to be huge.
That
Anthony
would-
Davis posted an ad for a personal assistant on Craigslist. He lists unibrow or heavy eyebrows as a plus, LZ.
I think that is a plus. In fact, if I could make my eyebrows connect, I would love to sign up for that job.
You would?
I
Good
would.
dresser.
That's
You want some good
discrimination if
dress-
you really want to go there. You can't.
How is that discrimination?
It's follicle
can't-
discrimination.
It's just a
Yes.
preference.
Well, you can't do that as an employer. It has to be based on marriage.
Why? Because it's what?
Unibrow.
Offensive to those of us with plucked brows?
Well, he could go
we're not allowed?
further. He
That's
could
the
keep
lifestyle
going
you chose.
further. Yeah.
I did choose this
Take the
lifestyle.
post down, Anthony. Take the post.
Loser routines. Patrick Peterson took to warm-ups yesterday in this. Marcellus, now do you believe in dinosaurs?
Someone went out there and ate up Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't know what the hell it was.
Too soon.
Fitzpatrick, you were horrible. No, I don't believe in no damn dinosaurs. Stop. What is it, 6 billion years ago this thing was
Yes.
on the planet?
Not that thing in particular.
Exactly
This
what
thing-
it
Not
is.
that thing in particular. Oh, wow.
Oh, what?
Sweet Norma Jean, what just happened? What is
Patrick's getting his workout on.
By the way, none of this is helping our argument for Marcellus.
Exactly.
Like, none of this.
None of this.
Well, this is.
That
That's
horse
actually
was
helping.
around, and it still is around. Where did the dinosaur go?
Oh!
You trying to tell me a dinosaur lost in creation?
Yeah,
to
it's
a
called the
horse?
Ice Age, Marcellus.
Really?
You would have
a
lost
horse
too.
actually evolved in
Loser dinner. A fisherman in Bermuda came up with a 14-pound lobster. He did throw it back in because now I'm going to fight it. It's going to be 15 pounds, Marcellus. How much is that going to cost and how much butter does one need?
That is a dinosaur.
No. It's still alive. You can't talk about eating them now. That is huge.
Yes, I can. What?
You would.
How do you-
Oh no.
I would eat that entire
Oh, my God.
lobster.
Boy.
I am sorry.
Boy, Red Lobster would have a
Butter.
ball with that one.
Red Lobster ain't
That's
touching
gonna
up
do it
like
for
that. They
us.
don't serve
We'll be
lobster.
back
They don't serve.
Not really.
I'm not sure what that means.
That's-